the Bubba and Josh Expose Themselves show.
This is the 15th episode of Bubba and Josh Expose Themselves. Yeah. 15. And we've been off for about 20, by the time this airs, roughly 28 days. It's been a month since you've last heard from us. Initially, what happened in the first week was I took a gig with my buddy Charlie down in Florida. I was there for, what was supposed to be 5 days, ended up being like 6.5 or whatever because we got a 30-inch storm up here. Flights were getting canceled, so I just opted, since I had the hotel room for a couple extra days no matter what, because they had blocked out this whole time for this seminar thing to happen or whatever the corporate gig was. It was kind of like a seminar year, end of last year kind of thing, whatever, for a company. So that didn't much matter. I just had my date pushed back. Got home. I think we'd played. Because I was like, that basically pushed it because I was supposed to fly in that Wednesday. We record on Wednesdays, so the week of release. So, for people who don't know, today's Wednesday. We record Wednesday, and by this Friday it'll be out. I might push it out on Thursday night. We'll see, because we have been away a long while. Want to let people know we didn't go anywhere, but after I came back from that, we gamed one night instead of recorded. We were set up to record, and this is why we didn't record in the last couple of days, and why I'd like to push it out now. And so I guess I'll put it over to you, Bubba.
Yeah, so a couple weeks ago now, on March 18th there, my dad, he passed away, and I've been dealing with a lot of nonsense, in my head, and trying to take care of the family, and we just haven't had the time to do this. And honestly, I've been kind of pushing it off because I've been, I've got a lot of emotions going on right now. Sure. That's the big thing.
Of course.
But yeah, he 55 years old. It's tough when they're that young, and I'm happy that he got to meet my daughter. It's tough.
Of course.
A lot of people love my dad. A lot of people came to the wake, which was really nice. I think we had over 200 people sign the book, and that's just people who signed it. Not everybody signed it.
I was gonna say I fucked up. Sorry, I did forget to sign it. I saw it on the way out, and I was like, I better sign that, and then I forgot. But you knew I was there. So.
Yeah. No, I know. But yeah, it was a crazy amount of people, and the fact that my dad has touched that many lives and like really affected their lives to the point where they come in, speak to me. Some of them complete strangers looked at me, said, "Your father did this for me," or "Your father, just would have given the shirt off of his back for me." And it's pretty powerful, man.
Right.
Yeah, pretty powerful.
I mean, when you think about it, not everybody gets to go out with that kind of, I mean, shit, I got there. I was like, I know it's going to be crazy. So Teresa and I opted to go. It was a 3-hour thing. So it was service. So we opted to go for like the last hour or so. And I didn't make it into the building like 15, 20 minutes and from the time that I got there in, because of how many people I saw and how many people that I reconnected with. Because, for the people who don't really understand or know, we grew up in a very small community. Number one, right? Okay. Number two, Wayno, like us, was a roadie for a very long time. Got the fuck around, toured with some fucking amazing people, right? Made some amazing friendships, which is a lot of what touring becomes. There's so many people. Like, I'm always referencing friends. Bubba's always referencing friends. You make like these kind of familial connections to people on the road. Besides the fact that the man was in the Navy, and that's an entire different connection to some people. right?
Yeah.
It was the Navy, I'm correct, I believe.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
So, and then on top of that, I think we've glossed over it in the past, but your dad had an accident a handful of years, a good handful of years ago. It was in a single person motorcycle accident, which put him off the road. And the first year the community got together, and I'm not sure exactly, I don't want to speak out of school, but a thing was formed called Wayne. And it was the community, because man, there was bills, and the man should, in all sense and purposes, I mean, you were basically prepared. They had prepared you at that time that he might not make it.
Yeah, that night of his accident, it was crazy. I had just done the pond skimming contest up at Gore Mountain.
For people who don't know, that's skiing across water.
Yeah, you do it during the
speed.
spring skiing.
Yeah.
So they make a pool at the bottom of the mountain and you ski across it. So I did the pond skimming contest, and Dad came out to see me do that, and he never did that.
Right.
And then he went out to Warrensburg to see somebody on his way home. It was April, so the salt and sand was still on the road.
Yep.
And he was on his bike, and he went around a turn and basically tumbled with the bike and hit his head a bunch. His helmet came off, has a brain injury. You know, he had a nerve damage on his arm, double vision. You know, balance is all fucked up. But yeah, he had massive injury. They medevaced him immediately to Albany Med. And
which is like when you're in deep shit, because again, we live in a remote location. Closest hospital is like a 45-50 minute drive from where I currently live and where Bubba used to live. So when shit goes bad, like literally on the other side of this fucking forest is a field where the medvac has a place to land for my neck of the woods. There's different areas where people can get picked up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the kind of area you live. If you hear someone getting medvac down to Albany, it's serious. Like, because Glennsville.
Yeah, well, and with Albany Med, they've got some of the best brain surgeons in the U.S.
Yep,
they do a lot of training there.
And then isn't Ellis down there as well? I believe it was called Ellis, because that's where they have some of the best heart people, and that's where my dad, when I was 12, had his double bypass surgery.
Yeah.
So that's like the serious hospitals, basically.
Yeah, I remember going in there, and they said, you know, we just want you to see your father. This might be the last time you see him. And yeah, that put our family through all sorts of shit, man.
You, if I remember correctly, had been like kind of working at creative.
Yeah.
But you were just about also like you were on your way out to the Navy yourself at the time, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah. Actually,
because that's also our connection is we all, including your father, worked at creative. I learned things from your father. Your father taught you, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up doing lights. You know, I started when I was like 8 years old at the local bars with him, putting together little lighting shows, hooking up to the oven at the Riverwood to get our power and shit. Little park hand rig.
Fuck yeah.
Like analog lighting console. It was pretty awesome.
Like what, the little leprechaun dimmer packs?
No, not even. It was what the hell was it, man? But you had to run the Stitch Jones cable to it, the fucking analog cable. So it's literally you're sending an electrical current to each channel from the console. It was pretty wild.
Old school.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I did working at creative. It was one of my first jobs. I started doing cables. Dad taught me how to solder DMX and stuff like that, and I built Socapex and basically have any kind of cable that came through the door.
Right.
Yeah, and then I was doing lifeguarding for a few summers. Yeah, that was nice. Much better than building cables.
I do remember you doing that.
Yeah, and then I was training to go into the military. I was going to go into the Navy like my dad.
Right.
I was going to do the rescue diving program, and they were going to pay for me to do music, to go to college for music. So yeah, it was going to be a whole thing. And the day after my dad's accident was the day that I was supposed to sign all my stuff and
Right.
get ready to ship out and all that.
And then that was like, nope. That's one of the things that
Yeah.
changed your trajectory a little bit. Maybe maybe it's okay that
absolutely.
it did. I mean, you ended up being pretty damn good fucking technician, and you know,
yeah.
and fucking, you know, that.
And I still got to play my music, you know, with different people.
Yep.
Oh, I remember playing harmonica with Hector there, the fucking bass player from Train. He and I would jam
Yeah.
all the time on the back dock. It was awesome. Got to play with music with some really great people.
Right.
Yeah. But I love being a roadie. Love it.
Exactly. And so yeah, to look back at it, you know, so we all came from the same place, kind of, you know, and then he had that accident, right?
Yeah.
So the town and people, locals came together and somehow formed, and maybe it was like friends of your parents. Because I imagine your mom was not involved at that point because she's got other shit going on.
Yeah, no,
obviously.
It was pretty wild. Everybody, I mean, so many friends, so many family members, so many friends of my dad, and people who weren't even friends of my dad. They all came together and they did Wayne Stock 1.
Yep.
And they raised money for my mom and my dad and for the family to help pay for medical bills and things like that.
Got people from the local industry, you know, like, here's a light show. Here's a fucking audio package. Here's a stage to set it all up on. Let's get some local bands booked.
Absolutely.
Get some
and
local artwork and
all
shit.
their time.
Yeah, let's get some local artwork and other stuff. Let's raffle this off. I remember specifically that one that there was like these cash prizes that people were winning, and they was just going right back.
Yeah.
Except there might have been one person who tried to keep it, and everyone was like, "Fuck you." I don't know if that was the same year, but
yeah, that was the same year.
that was like, no. you don't just walk around away with that money. These people need it more.
Whatever. You know, if you're gonna be that way, you're gonna be that way. That's fine.
Yeah. You're still a cunt.
But yeah, there was a lot of really great things going on, and then my dad started getting better, and he formed something called the North Country Hardship Fund. So basically, and it's still going. I mean, it's something that you can look up if you want to. It's a really great thing. It's a nonprofit organization where they help out people all along the North Country in New York, and some other places. Basically, if your family has some kind of tragedy happen, they're gonna supply you with some immediate funds that maybe your insurance isn't kicking in on right away. You know, it's like a family, their house burns down, something like that. They can help you out to start off and get you into a hotel right away. They can help you do all sorts of stuff.
Yep.
And it's pretty amazing. The community, everybody gets involved with it, and it's all because mom and dad, they said, hey, we need to pay it back. We need to pay it forward.
Right.
And now, I mean, they've raised these like $250,000.
That's amazing.
More than that.
And how many
I wanna
Wayne
say almost
stocks have there
500,000?
in total now?
I think we're up to 18 now. 17 or 18.
Jesus. I think I've only been to like 2. Every fucking year I'm gone, dude. 2 or 3 max. One of these days, damn it. But yeah,
Well,
so
it's tough because it's the first weekend of August.
right. And that's
You know, and
busy
that's
season,
peak.
man.
That's
It's
peak.
peak. You're on the road, almost certainly.
Yeah, and I was always on the road for it.
Yep.
Dad understood.
That being said, though, for a YouTube cut, I think this is going to be its own little segment here. So in the description below, if you happen to be looking and you want to do something nice, you know, you can make donations. I'll put down the website. It's a good way to donate. You know, you're giving to a small town community, people who, you know, sadly, we live in an area where there aren't very many good jobs. If there are good jobs, you need to commute, but you need a car to commute. So there's a lot of people that can get stuck in ruts. There's flyers. There's all sorts of things that the people from the North Country Hardship Fund help local people out for. So if you really want to, please feel free to donate there. Especially in memory of Wayno. Put that in the tagline or whatever's in there. It's important that we give back. So just make sure tell your friends. And if you're ever in the upstate New York area around August, look it up. It's really cool. Still to this day, they're still doing it, and I assume that it's going to happen again this year. And eventually logistics will work out. Everything is very fresh still. Yeah, but it's a cool thing, man. A lot of fun, and it's amazing that your family and your dad especially was able to take that, because like the first Wayne stock, man, Wayno was fucked up. No offense, but like the full axis of what happened in that accident was on display. He was frankly a shell of who he later became, which honestly, he pretty much, in my eyes, came back, especially mentally, 100%. He did have trouble with his balance and shit, but dude, I hope it's okay to say this, but this man, for a period of time, drove himself a couple times to work at creative stage lighting after the accident in a car.
Yeah, he did.
And had a desk job there. And he tough motherfucker. So, like that was Wayno to me. For me, when I was 16, my mom had to go to a mental health unit for like a month or so in the middle of summer. And I've said this before, but buddy, I grew up with, dad owned the company, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I need to make some money, help. And so they offered me, I don't know if it was 40 hours a week or 30 hours a week or whatever, but I worked every week, multiple days. One of the first people I met was your dad.
Yeah.
And you got to understand, he scared me shitless. He's this big imposing figure, tattoos, biker dude, obviously, because motorcycle, like Harley, not like Harley dude, big ass goatee. I can't remember what length his hair was at the time. Either way,
it was always a long black hair,
super
ponytail
roadie
kind of thing.
Yeah, super roadie, and didn't take anybody's shit. And like 16-year-old me was like, I shit myself. But he like taught me how to clean par cans, because that's basically what I was doing. I was going through the par can inventory, cleaning them, servicing them, re-riveting clips if they had come out for gel frames, what have you, drilling out ones that were fucked up and putting new ones in and re-riveting them. And by hand, I had to use a hand riveter, if I remember correctly. Maybe it had air. Either way, your dad was the one who taught me, and years later when I went back, he was there for a brief period of time before he went out with ERG and Aerosmith or something like that.
Yeah, Aerosmith and Motley Crue, the co-headline tour there.
Right. And so he was there briefly before I left. In fact, part of this scaring the shit out of me. So there was a gig that had come up, and it was for Meatloaf. And it was supposed to be your dad and I. Now, this was not happening. It was dropped on me like a day before, and I had pre-purchased tickets to go see Tool. So I was like, the fuck it isn't, unless you guys pay me for the tickets. No way, you're going to have to find someone else. He did not like that answer, as you can imagine, and use the word, you're trying to extort the company. I'm like, no, I had plans. So it was a little bit of an argument.
Yeah.
As you can imagine. But, the last time I saw your dad was like at your daughter's birthday, and he was in good spirits, and it was fun, and we hung out and laughed and bullshitted, and it was a good time, man. He's going to be definitely sorely missed in the area by a lot of people, but again, he affected a lot of people, and
I wanted to say something about Meatloaf while we're on the on the loaf. Well, that's a band that my dad toured with. I mean, years.
Right.
Years he did with Meatloaf. He even did like a 2-year-long like world tour with Meat back in the early days,
and when
in the early 90s.
And when Meat went out after your dad's accident, it was actually You and I who went out and did the
you
tour.
and I, we were out with Meat. Well, so here's something really fucking funny. So I'm sitting there at my desk today, right? And the head of the maintenance department comes over and sits down, and he starts talking to me. He's like, "So, who was the most talented person you toured with?" And I told him a couple of names, and then he goes, "Oh yeah." He says, "What about like the nicest or coolest?" And I name a couple names, and then he says, "Oh well, my favorite when I was working security, I toured with him quite a bit, was Meatloaf." And I was like, "Oh yeah, really?" And he says, "Oh yeah, I toured with him for a few years," and he starts listing off some years, and I was like, "Huh, no kidding." And he says, "Oh yeah, he was a really, really nice guy. He would always say, 'Oh, can I get him to come in and have dinner with me?' And they'd tell me to come in and I could have dinner with him."
What kind of fucking fantasy is this guy having?
I don't know.
Does he listen to the podcast?
No, absolutely not.
Good.
If he does, I hope you're listening, just so you know. And I told him this. I toured with Meatloaf. I was like, "Yeah, I toured with Meatloaf, and my dad did quite a bit." "Yeah, no, yeah, he's a nice guy. Yeah, he's a nice guy." But the whole time I'm thinking, like, you lying motherfucker. Maybe you did like a show,
Right.
or 2 shows, like
Right.
security.
Yeah, and he was working security, and he was like, "Hey, Meat, can I come eat with you?" And that's what he took as me asking if he'd go eat with him. But he's one of those types of people. Like, fuck off, dude.
Yeah, I mean, fuck. I remember Meat singing "Happy Birthday" to my sister.
No shit.
Backstage when we went and visited at SPAC.
That's cool.
We've got history with the man,
right?
And the band. I've known everybody from that camp since I was a wee lad.
Yep.
I'm
still friends with quite a few of them.
Oh yeah,
and some
absolutely.
of the Texan shit that we toured with, like Grady, the Dragon champion.
Yeah, Grady's the man. I always see him posting stuff on Facebook.
It's nice that he's back out with the Pantera.
Yeah,
the Pantera.
But
yeah, I saw he said he wrote something really nice. He knew your dad. And I always forget, like, did Martin Thomas know your dad?
Yeah.
Fuck, did he find out?
I don't know.
He's not really on Facebook. I should call him tomorrow.
Yeah, I think
it's been a while. I swear Martin
did
right?
It was like Jill Scott.
Yeah, or like an Erykah Badu. Yeah.
And Dad was about to go out on Jill Scott with Dylan. And that's when the accident happened. They were doing prep.
Right.
For Jill Scott.
Huh. I wonder if that was the one that I went out on, the block party.
I think you did.
But Dylan didn't
or
go.
Maybe it was Dick Musty.
Dick
I don't remember.
Musty. Oh my God. That's so fucking funny, dude. I see him every now and again.
The other day.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, and my mom was just saying like, "Oh yeah, your dad always called him Doug." And I was thinking in my head like the whole time, I'm like, yeah, more like Dick Musty. I just wanted to scream it across the funeral home. "Hey, Dick Musty."
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's funny, man. Yeah, your dad knew a fuck ton of people. And I'm sure there's plenty of people that just couldn't make it or get there.
Yeah, and I've got another funny one about my dad. Okay, so check this out. I am out on Bruno Mars. I'm in Macau. Right? I am literally on the other side of the planet. Couldn't get any further from my house. So it's after the gig. My buddies and I were going back to the hotel. It's all connected to like the casinos and whatnot. It's basically you're walking inside everywhere.
Right.
And one of the stagehands was riding up with us in this elevator. And my buddy Ryan is looking at his shirt, and on the guy's shirt, it looked like it said CSL on it.
Right.
And my buddy Ryan goes, "Hey, that says CSL. Like this guy knows creative, huh?" And I'm like, "Oh no, that's not CSL. That's some other company, you know." And the guy goes, "Yeah, but I know what creative stage lighting is." And he's this British dude. I'm like, weird. And he goes, "Yeah, I know all the guys over there. You know, Wayno." And I was like, "Huh? You know a man named Wayno?" And he goes, "Oh yeah." And his wife Tammy. And I'm like, "What? Are you fucking kidding me?" Literally across the world, and
Right.
this random person riding up an elevator with me happens to know my mom and dad.
Yeah, see, that's it, man. Strange coincidences, dude.
Yeah,
They're meant to happen.
I guess.
I think so. I mean, what are the chances? Especially the fact that when you think about it like in these sorts of terms, how many seconds of difference of a step that you took, just a step that night, or a path that you took that you wouldn't have fucking ended up on that elevator, because the amount of time to end up on the elevator with someone at the exact same time is seconds.
Seconds. Literally
Seconds.
seconds.
Seconds. Oh, you fucking go to get your
It's the
fucking key
door.
card out of your fucking thing to get ready for the elevator, and you drop a couple bucks, and the person's in front of you. You bend over to pick it up. Now you've just missed that elevator. Like literally, the fucking. That's why I swear some things like that, man. It's like the fucking planets have aligned, because there's like no other fucking way. Like for instance, when I ran into office last year,
Oh yeah.
the
Where
bus.
was that?
Oh, fucking in somewhere in I think it was Indianapolis. Well, either way, our bus had hit some shit. We were getting a new bus. Bus was supposed to show up at like 12.
Oh, that's right.
And we would
Yep.
have been there hours earlier. But instead, a fucking shitty ass bus shows up like 3.5 hours later, whatever. I'm pissed off. I get off the bus, literally step off the bus, grab my luggage, light my first cigarette, and I hear a person I haven't seen in years in a state that he doesn't reside. He resides in New York like us. Say, well, there's a sexy face I haven't seen in a while or something like that. And I looked up and immediately recognized the voice. I was like, Dave, what the fuck are you doing here? And with him was the guy who does the Cine concerts, Justin, and who I also worked with on the Star Trek thing. I was like, holy fuck, I haven't seen him since like 2015, 2016. It's like, hey guys, holy shit, what's going on? What are you doing here? Oh, you're doing that? Well, yeah, this is what I'm doing here. Now,
Yeah.
what, like, just the fucking fact that any fucking thing on the road could have fucking impeded that, just the bus going earlier, like, who's to say I would have been out having a cigarette at that exact same time had I arrived those hours earlier?
Yeah, exactly.
So you can't tell me that there isn't something kind of at play, like, unless it's just really fucking crazy divine luck and intervention of some sort, that these happen, because they don't happen all the time.
Yeah.
Things that deep are rare. But I can't. I mean, it's that strange coincidence. You know, it's like I was telling you, I had a book when I was a kid called Strange Coincidences, like the woman who lost her wedding ring while doing her garden, and then like 30 years later, went and pulled some carrots out, and the ring had grown perfectly around a carrot. Finally found after all that time. Or the guy who tried to shoot his fucking brother, bullet got lodged in a tree. Fucking when he went to chop down the tree, like the bullet somehow dislodged and refired or some shit and killed him, or like the tree fell on him, some shit with the because of he struck the bullet. I don't know, or some artillery shell. Either fucking way, like it's like those kind of things were in that book.
Yeah.
And, you know, kind of went off the rails.
I gotta have my mom tell me the story again, but she lost her engagement ring. Well, you know, the diamond. Right. So that's usually the engagement ring, right?
Yeah.
And then the wedding band is usually just a band. So she had lost her engagement ring, and it was a nice ring. And it was at the Copperfield.
Okay.
Yeah, the Copperfield. And years went by, and they found it.
The Copperfield did.
Yes.
It got behind something or somewhere, and
yeah, I can't remember how it all came about, but somebody
crazy.
Found it. Yeah.
That's fucking insane, dude.
Yeah, I gotta have my mom tell me the story, and I'll get it right, and I'll tell you guys again.
Yeah, no, I'm interested in that. That's weird. Because at that point, years later, it's not the last thing on your mind. It's been gone for a while. You've had to get over and accept it as something that as a married person you do not want to lose. Over. Yeah, like, and you have taken that loss hard. Maybe you've gotten replacement. Maybe you're like, I'll never wear another one. I'm so sick with myself for losing it or whatever some people go through, and then all of a sudden they're like, hey, found your ring. What? Yeah. No, it couldn't possibly be mine. Now. Holy shit!
My fucking god!
Holy shit! You know, like. That's crazy, man. That's the kind of world we live in. But yeah, you know, so I guess that basically explains where we've been.
Yeah.
We're gonna miss your dad.
It's been an interesting few weeks here.
Not a fun thing to deal with. And, you know, I mean, like I was telling you, like I've lost my mom, and for me, it was easier, even though I got a phone call and I was away and I had to fly home. I got a couple days with her. I don't know if I'll never know if she actually heard me. They said that she could understand me, but she was pretty fucking out of it the last 3 days of her life, you know. But I still talk to her and shit, but like at least that gave me a couple extra days to already grieve. And at that point, my mom had a stroke 10, 12 years before that. And was pretty nonverbal. So in a lot of ways, I grieved a lot of my mom before that because she wasn't she was same in a lot of the ways she could communicate with her eyes in some of her single word or double word sentences, if you will. But at the same time, I had a lot of time without who my mom was before that. And when you have time, it's easy. So and it's like it's never easy when it's abrupt. You know, it's different. I get.
Yeah. No, it fucking sucked.
Yeah. And it sucks for a while, man. You know, like I don't know if you ever really fully get over it, but it's
you know, it's not something that you do, and there's nothing that you can say. There's nothing anybody can say, and you just your brain's just gotta work through it, and. Right. Yeah, you know, just gotta, like they say, all the same bullshit. Jesus Christ, I can't believe how many times I fucking heard this. Well, just remember all the good things you had with your dad. And it's like, dude, if I hear that one more fucking time.
I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah, you start hearing the same thing over and over and over again. And, you know, it gets frustrating.
Right.
It makes you more pissed off.
Right. Because it's like, no shit. You're almost like, no shit. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Like,
yeah, I'm not a fucking little kid. I'm, you know,
right. I'm trying to process this like a human, and everything in our nature says that you have to say this shit. But like, at the same time, like sometimes I test out, I'm happy for you. And people are like, what? I'm like, I'm happy you got time with this person.
Yeah.
Not trying to be rude. But man, we really focus on that kind of shit. And it's not that it's negative necessarily. It's a way of offering condolences. I get that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, fuck, man, let's try to think of like, it sucks, man, because there's a couple things in life that are certain, and it's death and taxes. Right? That's the old joke or whatever. And it's true, man. We're all fucking headed there one day or another. It's inevitable. Why can't we make it just a little bit easier? Like, you know, why can't we just fucking say, that's awesome that you got, you know, 30 something fucking years? Because really, when you look at it, it's something to be thankful for, because some people don't get more than a few, you know, a handful. Some people don't even know their, you know, real parents till they fucking find out they died, or do like a background check and find out they've been dead or something, you know? Like,
yeah. Exactly. But
yeah.
Oh, what was I gonna say? Fuck. God damn it. Oh yeah. So at work, once again, we're at work. And this is like 2 days, maybe 3 days. Yeah, 3 days after my dad had passed. And everything's still real fucking fresh. You know, like all the things I'm thinking, all the things I've seen, all the sadness, all the everything. And I'm just trying to sit at the desk at work, get through my fucking day. And this person that I work with comes up, sits down at my desk. She goes, "Oh, Brian, is everything okay?" I said, "No, no, I'm. It's not. You know, I'm just trying to focus on work and get my mind off things." And she said, "Yeah, I'm so sorry about your dad." And then I'm like giving her a look like, I'm done talking right now. Leave me alone for a bit. You know, I don't want to talk.
Right.
And she goes, "So was it sudden?" And she starts prying in and asking me questions. And it got to a point where I just sat there and I stared at her for like 5 solid seconds and didn't say anything.
It is
like,
always
just go away.
like some people are just completely inappropriate and they don't know how to function as a human fucking being, apparently, because wow, read the fucking room.
Yeah, exactly. I'm putting off a lot of signals here like, hey,
it's been
kind
3
of uncomfortable
fucking days
talking about this.
And if I don't talk to you on the regular, I don't want to see you for like a fucking week.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't need your shit because it's coming in from all directions at that point, especially in the days of social media. I imagine you got countless messages or saw countless posts and tags.
Yeah,
and that's how the whole other
any
thing.
of you are listening or watching that have contacted me, and if I haven't contacted you back, it's not that I don't love you or anything. It's just that I have a hard time doing that kind of thing. I don't know what to say.
Right.
You know?
And I don't know if I told you before then, but Carter and Charlie have sent their condolences.
Oh, thank you, boys.
I just, at the time, I didn't want to get into it, that, you know, because I did let those two know when, hey, you know, guys, before you start texting me and bitching, I should probably let you know things are on hiatus for a little bit. Not a good time, blah, 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 blah. And Carter even called. I am sure if he had your phone number, he would have called you. He's like, is he okay? You guys are doing good, because he knows my connection to your dad as well. So he's like, are you guys all right? What's going on? And then we had like an hour-long conversation, but like it wasn't just a text with him. He fucking called. Like, that's the kind of guy Carter is. So thank you.
Yeah.
So,
no, that's fucking awesome.
So, you know, it's fucking weird, man. It's never easy to fucking, like, I'm so fucking awkward at those types of things, you know, like, hi, I don't know what to say.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, and you know what was really worse was when you're doing the fucking line at the wake, and I mean, there was literally hundreds of people
right
coming through there, and
there's
I've got
people you don't even know, never even met,
and I've got to go through and say, hey, yeah, I remember you, and blah blah blah. This is my wife,
or
blah,
explain
blah, blah.
who I am and who this
and
is,
then,
and this is who.
Yeah, and it's like you're doing that for 3 hours,
right?
And it's just like, fuck. And then when certain people come in the room and you're talking to them and you're like, oh my fucking God. And then you get like crying again because you all have emotional connections together, you know, somebody you haven't seen in a long time. Like one that triggered me was my scoutmaster, Tara.
Oh, wow.
From when I was in scouts, you know, I basically grew up over at her house, you know, because her son and I were pretty good friends, and we're going through scouts and whatnot together. And yeah, she was like a second mom to me. So when she came through, it was like, fuck, damn, made me cry again. You know, it just kept coming the whole fucking day.
Damn you.
Like waterworks. Like, God damn it.
Man, that's good to get that shit out, though. You know,
it is.
The last thing you need to do is bottle that shit up.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to for a little while because you're like, I just can't. Right now is not a good time for this. But I will postpone you. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go somewhere else. I gotta get this shit done. But when I'm gonna have a jagged fucking cry in the goddamn shower in about 45 minutes, and I'm looking forward to it.
Jagged cry,
dude. Oh yeah, those are good, dude. With warm water, just fucking sobbing. Like I've done that. I've done a jagged like fucking like just I might as well have been fucking 7 again, kind of almost. Not like a tantrum, but just overcome with emotion.
Yeah.
And that was for a different thing. That was before my mom passed, but man, I was just like, I can't believe. So I was just like, fucking jagged cry, man. It's great. Try it out in the shower. Everything is better in the shower. Just
okay.
Except
next time I have one coming along, I'll
get in the shower and get a little warm. Get that fucking steam into you.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds nice.
Chef's kiss.
Fuck your chef's kiss, you motherfucker. Oh my god, I'm gonna shit on your chef's kiss.
Now that could be a t-shirt.
Oh, now I'm picturing what you're gonna actually do for a t-shirt is like a picture of me making chef's kiss.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Hey, buongiorno, fuckers.
There's a perfect picture of me on Jess's Facebook with a mustache making a kissy face.
I could easily fucking use my hand for yours. Be a hand and arm, slight arm model if you're not properly positioned.
Yeah.
I'll make you my Photoshop bitch.
Yeah, I'll send you the picture.
Please do. That'd be
it.
Fucking funny, man.
Yeah.
I'd definitely wear that shirt. I got a $30 order upstairs right now. 2 things. Order myself a hat. We get our shit at cost. If you remember when we did it last time for the fucking Twitch thing.
That's the same. It's the same place.
Yeah, it's the exact same one. In fact, I changed all the Twitch handle over to be this name now. So.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I figure I could run some shit there every now and again. Maybe we could do some on there. I don't know, but also I was hoping to change over the name because when you go to the website now, it's like goulash merchandise, and it's like not exactly. So I'm hoping once it kicks in 24 hours, because I cannot for the life of me figure out how to actually physically change the name in Stream Elements or Streamlabs or whatever the fucking website is. It's changed in Twitch, and I changed the icons to our icons, but it hasn't updated on the other side yet of Stream Elements or Labs or whatever the fuck is the thing that does it. So yeah, that's where we've been.
Yeah.
It's good to be back.
Yeah, no, it's really good to be back. This is like we always say, this is our way of kind of
therapy,
getting out. Yeah, it's like therapy. Yeah, being able to talk to somebody and have like a conversation that you're interested in.
A human conversation.
Yeah, something that's like not me talking retail to a customer.
Shallow shit like that. Ugh.
Oh, it drives me nuts, man.
And like, dude, I'm like, she and I talk a little bit, but like half the time she's always in her phone. So I'm like, unless I'm playing games and I haven't talked to Dirt in a bit, we seem to be missing each other on Discord. Fucking, I haven't played online except for anybody but you. So you're like literally the one person I've been talking to, except I called Charlie like once or twice recently. Like, I'm like, I need human contact. God damn it. So fucking lonely up here. Nobody.
South Park is amazing.
Yeah.
Been watching a lot of that recently myself. I don't know about you.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm upset because 6 season episodes aren't just not enough.
Last 6 episode seasons, you mean?
6 episode seasons. Yeah. Yeah.
Gives me a chance to catch up because there's a lot of fucking episodes.
Well, it was the last 2 seasons were 6 episodes, and the season before that was 1 45-minute episode. So that was the COVID season.
Oh yeah.
So it's a pandemic special or whatever, and then the other specials in between that are on the other one is on Paramount Plus instead of HBO. So you gotta, if you want to get the whole thing from the COVID series, you gotta go have that. But yeah, no, 6 episodes was too much. And I think it's because, like, I'm not going to say that any of the episodes necessarily are stinkers, But when you do a 12 or 10 or whatever episode or season episode,
Episode season.
episode season, you have a little more leeway with the ones that aren't as strong as the others.
Yeah, but still, I mean, they're all pretty strong when it comes down to
They
it.
were
Every
all right.
episode is well thought of.
It was all right. The last one was it was weird. I didn't expect it to go where it went, and I mean, it was a good season. It's just like, man, the last two seasons, if they had just been one season, it would have been more perfect. And it feels like that's exactly what happened, because there are things that happened in last season, barely mid to early on in their 6 episodes, that get resolved in this season. So It feels like it could have been.
Well, they do that in earlier seasons too.
Yeah, but this is like they really ran with a gag for a lot longer than a lot of them sometimes do. It depends, but like this one was like, I don't want to ruin anything, but yeah, it was just one of those things.
That's the thing. He's listening. Well, he's watching all of the new episodes that are coming out and other things. Meanwhile, I have restarted the series. I'm up to season 6, episode 15. So trucking right along. I've definitely watched a lot of South Park. Enjoying myself a lot.
Right.
Quite a lot. But poor Kenny is dead right now, and he's residing in Cartman.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The last episode I watched, his soul shot out of Cartman's ass. And that's where it left off for me.
Nice.
I haven't watched the rest of the episode.
Hell yeah. You know what I watched recently that I was just like, I have now got a pretty decent hot take on it. Vudu was having a little bit of a sale, so I bought 2 different combo packs of movies.
Yep.
Lethal Weapon 1 through 4.
Nice.
Grown Ups 1 and 2.
Okay.
Okay, first and foremost, let me get the great out. Okay, the Lethal Weapon movies, especially the first 2 and even the third, the fourth is good too. Don't get me wrong, it's a little different, but those first 2, man, are fucking really solid. And the way fucking Riggs and Murtaugh work together, and the fucking emotional chargeness of all of it.
Good,
the third one's good, dude. Trust me, like the third one's good. I'm not. Okay, so like if I was gonna rate them,
see, I almost
first
like
one's
watching the third one more because I don't see it as much. I didn't see it as much growing up as much as I did the first 2.
Right.
So yeah.
1, 99.9% awesome. Number 2, 96.5% awesome. Number 3, 89% awesome.
No, it's still in the 90s.
Number 4, 82% awesome. Maybe high 70s.
I don't know. That's still pretty in the
Chris
high
Rock
80s
to me added too much. You already had Pesci in his comedy. Why don't we just do more of that? I understand why we have Chris Rock, and it is a nice. I mean, because the whole opening and the dude with the fucking flamethrower suit, and like he's like, I have something I'm not supposed to tell you. You're gonna be a dad, and he's like, I got something I'm not supposed to tell you. You're gonna be a grandfather, and then like you spend like a third of the movie or almost half the movie not realizing it's gonna be Chris Rock who is the dad, or he doesn't at least realize that it's gonna be Chris Rock. Butters is gonna be his dad. Still a good movie on its own. Don't get me wrong, but there's some about the first 2, the seriousness of the nature of like it's heavy hitting shit, like why he doesn't want to stay on Earth anymore, and he carries that special bullet, and at the end, he gives it to his daughter to give to him.
Yep.
And I thought that was really like that was just like I hate to do it, man. Fucking chef's kiss. It just it really buttonholes that movie together. Anyways, again, excellent purchase. I've been waiting for it to be on sale, and I've watched it a couple times when it was on sale. I'm like, I know I've seen it a little lower. I'm not paying $60 or whatever the normal price is for 4 digital movies. I paid like $29. I paid like half or whatever, which I'm okay with. And then I got the Grown Ups movies, and they're okay, but not as good as I thought I remembered them. And like the first one's much better than the second one.
Yes.
And here's why. I think this is my hot take. First one's okay. There's some questionable shit in there though. Some of the jokes are a little bit like there's one where God damn it, what's his name from King of Queens? God damn it, Kevin James. Kevin James is making this comment about like basically fucking his wife while she's asleep, and he's like, but she's okay with that, and I'm just like, whoa, that's the R word, bro. Like, okay, that I understand this is like 15 years ago or whatever, but that's like straight up
an R word.
That's
right
straight
there,
up
bro.
rape, right? So fucking, I was like, that's kind of a weird thing. And also knowing that they were ad-libbing a lot of the lines, I'm like, that's just a fucked up thing to say. Whatever. Still, decentish movie. Again, it's an Adam Sandler schlocky. You know, he gets the fucking, why is he married to a hot woman? I mean, I guess his wife is, in real life, is gorgeous. He just won that award. And yeah. So I guess the nerdy weird kid gets the fucking hot girl. But it's just like, there's a lot of these like little check marks that you have to just go off when you watch an Adam Sandler movie. There's certain things that are always going to be the same, right? Then we get to the second one, and I'm watching it, and I fucking swear to God, they had most of this story, right? And they couldn't tie it together. And then some dickhead came up with the whole deer in the house situation and this stuffed animal to tie it all together. Because if you think about it, that's all that movie really rides on as far as story goes. There's a lot of shit going on in the movie, but this movie opens up. Adam Sandler gets pissed on by a deer who has no penis because, you know, digital softening of the area. Oh, the deer's standing outside like he's getting pissed on in the mouth. I'm like, this is already stupid, and I'm really upset at this purchase. And then with the stuffed animal, with his kid's stuffed animal, throws it out, blah, blah, blah. And then at the end, she turns around, and that's what gets the kid's ass stomped by the deer. And that was like, I guess, the safest way to beat up college kids was to have the deer take out Taylor Lautner. I don't fucking get it. But anyway.
Oh, yeah, and he did flips.
And where the movie before. Yeah, exactly. In the fucking
that's his handshake. He does flips.
Yeah, he does flips. Fucking and whereas the first movie had some pretty good dynamics between the cast, like in this one, all of a sudden
together for their gym teacher.
Yeah, this one all of a sudden, like everything's slightly different. Like Chris Rock no longer is like the stay-at-home mom dad, which he had this whole thing like when they walk in, he's in the first movie when he walks into the cabin, he's like, "This is my kitchen." I think it's one of the funniest fucking lines in the movie because he's just like falls in love with the kitchen like a dad mom would. But then it's like entirely erased. All of a sudden, in the second movie, he works for a cable company, and the wife is no longer working. She's the stay-at-home mom. They like role reversaled it. Okay, whatever. That's cool, but like, you know,
I never thought about that.
No Rob Schneider. Then they put fucking what's his name in his place is like his fucking fucked up bus driving cousin. They add Shaq and what's his name. Like they have too many characters. It's almost like they threw that movie together and it was like literally probably a smattering ideas. Okay, a deer pisses on Adam. Ha ha ha. Okay, David Spade rolls down a fucking hill in the goddamn big ass fucking tire. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Let's make broad jokes about what's her name's huge tits. Ha ha ha. Like, and I was just like watching that movie. I'm like, this is really like the whole dynamic of the kids being spoiled little fucks. And a couple years later, it's just normal that they live in suburban whatever. Instead of having even like a tinge of it, everyone's completely different. It's like the movie was written by someone completely who like kind of just fast forwarded through the first movie, didn't really watch it. And that's the problem I have with grown-ups. And that's really my whole fucking hot take on it. They're horrible movies. They're not great.
Jesus.
First one is worth a watch. Don't bother with the second one unless you want to feel like you've been raped by Kevin James and crew.
Okay. So with that being said, Kevin James, you have to connect him back. That's your actor.
To who?
Well, you remember you start with Kevin James and you go back to Kevin James, but you have to have 5 different people of separation.
That's too easy though, because it would be like Kevin James to Leah Remini. Okay. Leah Remini to Will Ferrell. Okay. That would be,
from what? What was that?
She played a friend, his wife's friend in Old School.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Okay. Will Ferrell to fucking anyone on Saturday Night Live, including David Spade. Okay. David Spade to Chris Rock. Chris Rock back to fucking, what's his name?
I mean, David Spade right back to
Yeah, David Spade
Kevin
right
James.
back to Kevin James. That's an easy one.
That is an easy one. That is.
I think anything in the
you.
Sandler verse circle, or I was just ready for like, I think anything in the Sandler verse would be easy to connect. But that was, but I had to really think like, how can I connect? And immediately what came into my head is, here's a weird one that could get you around the world, Leah Remini, because she's been in a fuck ton of movies that you just don't remember until you're like, fuck yeah. Because like she's hardly memorable in that movie. She doesn't really stand out on her own.
Yeah, King of Queens though, that's her thing.
I'm gonna be honest. Most of the episodes I've seen of that show, I really like. I think Jerry Stiller's great. And Stiller's Papa.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, he plays her dad, and they all live together, and it's that dynamic, which is fun. You know. Yeah. Oh, last hot take in the movies. I don't think I brought this up to you. There's a lot of sad men out there right now. You want to know why? This is the most ridiculous reason ever. They're upset because this Super Mario Brothers movie, Princess is like powerful chick. She needs saving, god damn it. Yeah, apparently because the trailer is she's like kicking ass, and like they're actually going to get Luigi or something, at least judging by the trailer. They're like, oh, they're having like this whole crisis because she's not a damsel in distress. And I just thought that was funny. I really have no other comment other than people are fucking stupid. Yeah. Yeah, that's a fucking weird one to me.
Yeah, that is a little odd.
Enjoy the fucking movie. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, just shut the fuck up and watch the movie.
It's a goddamn kids movie. You really think?
That I'm excited to see. Honestly, I want to see.
I want to see it too. It's getting mixed reviews, but basically the Easter eggs and the shit are there, and I think that's what matters. I've heard a little bit more Chris Pratt's Mario. It's whatever.
I don't
think
care about their voices
too much for me.
It's just a story.
I just want to see
Black's Bowser, whatever. I want to see what they're gonna do.
Yeah,
like I see they're gonna be doing some of the Mario Kart, and this, that, and the other thing. But
which, if you pay attention to the trailer, they really kind of, it looks like they pay a homage to Road Warrior and Beyond Thunderdome and those kind of esque movie. So should be interesting. I am definitely, it's something I want to watch.
Music, because like all the different levels with Mario had the different music and shit.
Right.
Like it'll be cool to see that.
You know what'd be interesting? If there were dispensaries for crack. Imagine dispensaries for crack. That'd be kind of weird, right?
Because like definitely get rid of things quicker.
Like you think about it like this, but like, what would you do? Like, you wouldn't have like different strains of crack, would you? Like, or would you? Would you have like different levels of crack? You'd be like, this is a nice yellow crack. Here is a slightly more China white crack. This one has a flavor of plastic.
Why are we talking about crack?
Because this was one of my ideas that I was thinking of. Like, wouldn't it be weird if there was dispensaries for crack? Like, imagine, like, if you go into a regular, like, weed dispensary, like, they got, like, bongs and vaporizers and all these other things, like, but what would they have there? Would it just be those little glass flowers that you can buy at the fucking, like, convenience stores that you can break in, like, just a slab of Brillo pads? Like, one in, like, big-ass torch lighters, like, not even the big ones, the ones you can turn up way high. Like, what, like, would that be? Like, and, like, what would being in a line, like, waiting for your medical or recreational crack would be like?
I think it would only last a certain amount of time, and then everybody would die from having access to it that easily.
Do you think so, or would they actually go a little easier on it? Because in countries where they've legalized all drugs, there's actually been a lower death rate because of it. like a much lower overdose rate, much lower.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a very interesting thought.
Yeah, the fact that they can get it whenever they want, so it's not like they have to fucking do it all at once to feel something. Kind of syndrome or something like that. But yeah, that's a bit of a study. But I just thought that was interesting. It was a funny little thought that was in my head this morning when I was laying in bed.
Remember when I used to have the Duber when I was living out in Mass?
Yeah.
That was the thing. Could be like cracker.
Not in this day and age, man. Cracker delivery.
Cracker delivery.
Cracker nothing. You're just getting crack.
Oh, man.
That's pretty fucking funny, honestly. But
have
yeah.
you seen my crack?
And you know how like marijuana dispensaries have crack. All like really great names usually that like tie into weed somehow, like
like MedMen and
like you think there'd be like crack isn't whack and like White Lightning Crack Company and like fucking like what else?
Jesus,
you know, I don't know. It was just a thought. We have merch now.
Yeah,
go check it out. There'll be a link somewhere. YouTube here. I don't know. Check it out, man. We're selling some shit. Yeah. Fucking.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at my notes.
At your notes.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I have much else to say this week. I want to hold on to some of that other stuff.
Yeah. My head's all over the place too. I don't know. I can't think of anything right now because I'm really tired.
Yeah. You gonna go night-night?
No, I'm not gonna go night-night.
You gonna play some games?
Yeah, games.
Cool. Games.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I am there might be another break coming up here, and I don't know how we're gonna do it, but it's something for us to figure out, obviously, that we're just starting to figure out. My schedule's about to change quite rapidly here. I am getting ready to go out for about a month on something. A little bit of time at home, out for a month. Very short amount of time at home, out for a month. Very short amount of time home, out for a week or two. Possibly some more stuff after that. So, you know, we might end up going every 2 weeks with the podcast now. We got some time this week. It looks like that we're going to try to fill in some extra shit. I would like at least to be able to make enough to kind of get us through when I come home, or close, you know, a week or so off, because I don't leave until next Friday. So I got time, and I might have time in Vegas. It's just that, man, the audio and the video quality will suffer, and I just don't have a lot of the extra cash right now. Part of me was like, I think I'll bring, you know, in certain situations, I'll end up bringing, I'm going to buy a system like yours, basically. Well, I'd probably take this mic with me. Definitely not the arm, because this is this thing I don't want to break, possibly transporting it. Because the thing is, if I need, I could probably even handhold it. I've seen people handhold these.
Probably talk to a fucking audio guy on a tour that you're on and just say,
hey, you got a mic stand? Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, dude. I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah, no worries.
But I do want to, you know, to take the webcam, whatever. I would like to be able to have the opportunity to record on the road.
Yeah.
As long as, and that's the thing, I got to start looking at the schedule and see where my days off are and if they're going to line up with yours. But that being said,
we'll figure that out.
You know, you might see some weeks dip in and dip out. But I'll try to funnel more stuff to YouTube channel. If I haven't made it clear, YouTube channel is just going to be like clips and stuff now. Segments pared down. That way, you know, you don't have to watch the whole episode to get an idea. But if you really want the whole bells and whistles, you probably should watch it. And that's going to be on Spotify.
Yes.
Then we have some neat merch. I made a shirt that says Functional Idiot. You know, it's one of my favorite sayings. Neat little our logo here. Got some nice embroidered hats, winter, summer, a sticker. Another shirt that's just the logo on the chest. So yeah, if you want to help support, you know, it gives us a little cash back in pocket, which, you know, isn't unnecessary to say the least, but helps, you know, pay for the equipment that has already been purchased that probably had no right being purchased, right? You know, but we're not going to half-ass this because that's not what Bubba and Josh do.
No.
We're roadies. We like to go full ass. But also on top of that, it also helps promote us because if someone says, "Hey, that's weird," well, what is that? Then you can tell them, "Hey, man, I listen to this weird podcast with these guys I know or don't
And it's
know."
amazing.
That's
and then
fucking
we'll
amazing.
talk about you if you talk to us.
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll do things.
Yeah.
It's like getting your mind and shit.
At some point, you know what would be really cool someday to be able to do on this?
What's that?
Is take a live call. Like do a live episode and do a phone call.
Yeah, I agree. And or I was looking into systems that you can have people call a number and leave messages.
Okay.
Because I see that's how some people do it because that's one of the easiest ways that you don't have to edit around, you know, especially, you know, because you can never do a live show with live calls. You'd be so fucked. Well, first time someone says something silly. But
yeah, no, that's true.
I wouldn't mind taking some calls and bullshitting with people. I know, like, you know, people. There's definitely been like Charlie's expressed interest in chatting sometime. I'm sure Carter would.
Okay, yeah.
Charlie's got a decent setup at home. You know, nice mic. He doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah, I definitely want to get my Uncle Ed in on this.
Yeah, it'd be fun, man.
He had so many people say, "Man, I love your videos. Keep it up."
Maybe talk to Bummy one of these times.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe Bummy and Jake. Fucking.
Yeah.
Just old school. Because he got a hold of me because he wanted to say hi to your dad's thing, but had to go, whatever. And I was like kind of paying attention to Munch and all that over in that corner of the room. And fucking, he got a hold of me later and said, "Hey, man, I want to hook up one of these days, blah, blah." And I explained to him, I said, "Man, I've got a bunch of fucking cameras equipment. Like, we could, in all essence, we could come up with some crazy shit and just riff on it sometime kind of thing." And he was very down. So it's a matter of finding time now, finding all the equipment. Because I know I have it. This is where some of it.
Yeah.
And I know where the DJI 2 is. I think you have one of the DJI ones.
I do.
Still. I have no fucking clue where my other DJI one is. It's somewhere in this room, I'm pretty sure. But where?
Oh, really?
Not 100%. I know where my Sony is. I'm not sure where my fucking... I'm not even really sure right now where my fucking GoPro is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, whatever. We'll have them. We'll get to it. What you got there?
You know, Jake gave me that.
What is it?
What
does this say on it? I don't think it's going to focus. Yeah, it's not focusing.
No. Attic of Love.
Whoa. Are they still doing their thing? I thought I looked them up recently a couple months ago.
But this is from an old show. Yeah.
Yeah. My band used to open
really
for
old
them.
show. He said something, I think he said that it was from when they opened up for like Quiet Riot or something like that at one point.
No shit.
Yeah, well, anyways, as a band, my old man used to love, local band.
Yeah, Nazis on the Moon, man. I believe that's what the name of the song was called.
Yeah, I think you're right.
No, it was interesting, man, because it was like a bit of heavy, a bit of metal, but a really Jethro Tull-esque fucking vibe to it.
Jazz flute.
With the flute, lead singer and the flute.
Yeah, and the way he sang, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've looked them up. I literally looked them up a few months ago when their name came to my head. I was like, I wonder where the fuck they are, because one of the last things I remember is they like went out west to make it big. And like, you can find them. They're everywhere on the internet. Like, you can still buy albums or listen to them digitally and shit. But I don't know if they're making new music and or they all live in different areas now. It was kind of hard to figure out that piece of the puzzle. But yeah, man, that was a time. That was a time. We opened up for them a couple times in the early 2000s. Once at Copperfield. And I can't remember where the other place was, but it was good. It was fun.
Yeah, I remember Drew. He worked at Mountain and Border Town.
Yeah. Wow, man. Mountain and Border Town. Man, when that place opened, that was so state of the art. That skiing game they had, Jesus Christ. actually being
Yeah, I
on the
love the
skis.
skateboarding game.
Yeah, and there was the skateboarding game that was so fucking sick. It's too bad that
Yeah.
didn't become a thing. That was cool. It was cool to have that in our town. Like, that's something that no one would ever invest in our town now ever again. Not that kind of thing. That was most certainly even then a very expensive venture.
Oh, very, very expensive. Yeah.
And their inventory, especially the first year or two they were open, was expansive.
Oh, yeah.
It
Absolutely.
was impressive. It rivaled a lot of the shops down south, in my
Oh,
opinion.
yeah.
Because didn't they even have like a moving water and shit in there, if I'm remembering
Oh, yeah.
correctly?
They had
And a
had
storm
like,
that went off every fucking so amount of time.
yeah,
With
and
rain.
the rain.
Yeah,
And-
dude.
Yeah, my dad hooked up all the lights for it.
Right, because there was like strobes in there and smoke and
Yeah.
shit and atmosphere. Yeah, dude, because like, fuck, dude, like that was kind of ahead of its time or like on par with the time of bigger cities. And to have
Yeah.
that here, I mean, that could be a whole nother episode in itself and the person behind it and the Copperfield and all the rumors about that. But maybe that's something we'll do one of these
Yeah,
days.
we'll talk about that again. We'll get into
Yeah.
Mountain Border Town with you fuckers.
Yeah, and Elliot Monter and the Copperfield
And the rock climbing wall.
yeah, oh my
Yeah.
God, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck, and there was upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ. And now it just sits there fucking vacant. It's a fucking tragedy, honestly.
Yeah.
But until next time,
Oh,
Thank
I
you.
wonder if one of those machines is in there. One of those
Imagine.
arcade machines.
I'll give you $100 for it. You could probably make good money if it still worked, but some tells
Oh,
me
yeah.
that it would take a lot of work to get those machines working, and they're kind of niche and probably were only really released during a certain period of time and didn't catch on like how the 80s and 90s ones were, where you can still find a lot of shit. I bet it would be, but I don't know, man. I haven't been to a regular arcade recently that like they actually might have
I
those
did.
same types of things.
At the Aviation Mall the other day.
Yeah, but that can't be much now anymore.
Oh, it was terrible. The arcade's in a different spot now.
Really? That's weird.
Yeah, it was
Smaller?
very weird. Yeah.
Yeah, less money. Pyramid Corporation absolutely fucks people on the rent there. I can tell you that from working there years ago.
Huh.
It's amazing how much they charge. There's a reason why most places are out there. If that Target wasn't part of there and their own entity at the same time, that whole fucking building
Right.
would be shut. That's
Do
the
they still
only
have the
reason.
movies there?
Yeah, that also, I'm sure, does its own business. I don't know whether decent or not.
Yeah.
You know, post-COVID, in some areas, some people are still warming up to the idea of movies. And frankly, if it's unless it's something like I really need to see on the big screen,
Yeah.
I've got a pretty nice setup to stream to here if
Yeah,
I can
me too.
purchase it. You know, you got nice sound. I got nice sound. We got big fucking TVs, fucking nice color, dim the lights.
Recliner.
Yeah, you got your own fucking furniture and your
Food.
animals and the people you love, and like
My
you don't have to
cuddles.
worry about ripping a fart and someone else smelling it because it's your theater, dude.
Yeah.
I would actually pay a premium to have my own theater with like 8 seats, 4 seats, 5, 6 seats for friends, like really nice ones, and pay a premium to get like if you could get a tap of digital like in theaters this month and just be able to fucking watch the movies with your friends.
Stream it.
Even if it was just once. Like, guys, the new fucking Marvel movie's out and it's fucking ready to go, man, in my personal theater. And you can't watch it anywhere else but these places where you pay a premium for it. So come on
I
over.
would say like 2 times a week, like 2 showings a week or once a
Yeah.
week, a different movie, something like that. Like Indian Lake used to do.
Yeah, they still do it.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah,
sure there's still a
exactly.
theater.
Yep.
Pretty sure.
There.
Yeah, it was weird, man. We had a theater down south, which was like multiple theaters, and then you had like
Yeah.
this tiny little theater. Maybe it was 2. Was it only 1 or 2? I think it's only 1, isn't it?
In Indian Lake?
Yeah.
One.
Yeah, and this
And then
little
you
town
had the
called
one
Indian
in
Lake.
Chestertown too.
Right, which I never went to until years after it had closed. Cool. Charlie works at a place, an old theater every now and again, movie house, and it's like those tables with the pull-out shorts stacks of original posters from like way back to current. And he's like gone through and like shot me a couple pictures, and I'm like, dude, they don't know how much fucking money they're sitting on right there. And God forbid that old building goes up in flames. That is so much cinema history. Those belong, and Charles, like, they belong in a museum.
Films they have,
and whatever else, and like, dude, like that's something.
And how flammable that film is,
and how well. I mean, at what point, open those canisters, more than likely it's just degraded to dust, falling apart, brittle.
I don't know.
Depends, man, because if they were smart, or the building is built right and the humidity is perfectly where it's being stored, a couple other factors, then yeah, it won't degrade as much. But I mean, dude, most of the cassette tapes that came out when we were kids technically should have degraded by this point.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I think, and even CDs degrade. Let me see. I know that there is a factor on this, like how long does it take for a cassette tape to degrade? 30 years. In perfect circumstances, cassette tapes will only last about 30 years if properly stored away from heat, humidity, and UV rays, whereas a CD stored in the same conditions can last a little over 100 years.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, so it's interesting. So yeah, like, man, like, and I'm sure there's some that work fine, but I'm sure you've got sound degradation, and then you've got the materials breaking down. So one bad rewind or...
Okay, I can't believe we got to this from fucking Mountain and
I know, we needed to end. We were going to end 12 minutes ago, but that's how this fucking podcast goes.
Yeah, I'm getting the hook out. We're getting hooked off of the stage.
Fucking. All right, guys, we'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching. Carter, thanks for buying merch. Charlie, if you actually bought merch, I haven't been able to check yet. Thank you.
But if you didn't,
fuck you.
Thank you. I mean, why would you? Why would you set it up like that?
I don't know. Fuck you, Charlie. I love you. And yeah, anyone else who helps out the podcast, thank you. There, I said what I needed to say.
All right. Well, bye. I'm Bubba.
Bye. I'm not. See you later. When did it stop recording? Just kidding. Fuck you. Goodbye.